Our next inductee is lifelong Madison resident, former University of Wisconsin baseball player, and longtime Madison Central and East football and baseball coach, Wayne Knobby Keliher. Keliher was born December 21, 1933 in Madison, the son of Raymond and Margaret Keliher. He has 3 brothers, Larry, Raymond, and Dave. Dave is also a member of the Madison Sports Hall of Fame. Growing up, he found the playgrounds at Draper and Washington schools always available for activities, so he jumped right in, playing the usual sports such as football, basketball, and baseball, but also marbles, croquet, paddle tennis, washers, and horseshoes. Knobby says his parents were very supportive of his interest in sports, and so were the playground leaders and his early coaches. He says the city recreation department sponsored activities in a number of sports, and he won youth championships in baseball and basketball. Knobby took an early interest in sports and said his first idols were Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox, Badger football players Elroy Hirsch, Pat Harder, Jack Wink, and Dave Schreiner. His basketball idol was Badger All-American John Kotz. At Central High School, he participated in 4 sports: football, basketball, baseball, and track. Gus Pollock was his coach for football and baseball, Bob Alwyn for basketball, and Rip Rooney for track. He was a 3-year member and 2-year starter on the Central varsity basketball team. He also started his senior year in baseball. After Central, Keliher headed for the University of Wisconsin, where he was a 3-year starter on the Badger baseball team. He played first base and catcher. He graduated from the UW in 1957 with a bachelor's degree and also a master's degree. From there, he played 1 season of professional baseball with the Rapid City Chiefs of the South Dakota Basin League. In 1958, he entered the military as a first lieutenant and was stationed at Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida. From there, he was sent to Naha Air Force Base in Okinawa, Japan, as a radar controller. While in Japan, he played football for 2 years and was a member of the Air Force All-Star team that played for the Rice Bowl Championship in Tokyo in 1959. In front of 87,000 people, Keliher, a defensive end, and his teammates beat the Army All-Stars 20-0. He also played baseball for the Naha Eagles and led the league in home runs, RBI, and doubles. He was again selected as an Air Force All-Star, and his team went to the Worldwide Tournament in Florida. There, he was a catcher and named tournament MVP. While still a student athlete at the UW, Keliher got his first taste of coaching, and he was fortunate to become an unpaid assistant coach in football, basketball, and baseball at his old school, Central High. He did scouting and broke down film for football. It was here that he realized coaching was in his blood. Once his military obligation was over, Knobby was offered a position in 1960 as a teacher and head basketball and baseball coach and assistant football coach at New Richmond High School. In 2 seasons at New Richmond, his basketball and baseball teams won almost 70% of their games. He took a similar position at Wisconsin Dells, though just for 1 year, and posted an 11-7 mark in basketball and a 13-6 mark in baseball. In 1963, the head baseball coach and assistant football coach at Madison Central opened, and Knobby got the job. He became the head football coach in 1966. In 6 years at Central, he was 70-47 in baseball and won the Big 8 in 1964. Central closed its doors in 1969, and Keliher headed down the street to Madison East High School, where he was named head football coach. He added assistant baseball coach in 1970 and then took over the baseball program in 1973. Keliher coached the Pergolders football program for 26 years, compiling a 123-117 record. He won the city championship 8 times, was Big 8 champ in 73, 77, and 85, and took East to the state playoffs twice. He was the Big 8 Coach of the Year 4 times and Madison City Coach 5 times. He was named a coach for the 1978 Shrine All-Star football game, and in 1999 was inducted into the Wisconsin Football Coaches Hall of Fame. On the baseball diamond, he took the Pergolders to the state tournament 3 times, advancing to the title game in his very first year, 1973. East lost to Oconto Falls 2-1 for the championship. He also went to state in 1975 and 76, and he won 152 games in his career that ended in 1995. He was inducted into the Madison East Hall of Fame in 2004, and the athletic field at East was named Keliher Field in 1997. Keliher was also active as a referee doing football and basketball games at the high school and college level and high school volleyball. He continued playing sports in Madison as well. His Octopus Car Wash team won 5 Madison Major League Basketball championships. He played on a number of baseball teams that won city titles, won a fast-pitch softball title, and played volleyball for the Madison Turners, who were 9-time city champs and won the National Turner title in 1968. He married Mary in 1960, and they have a son, Rick, who is married to Cheryl. Rick and Cheryl have a son, Sean. He currently is the color commentator for the high school football game of the week on WTSO, Madison's ESPN Radio 1070, and he's also an accomplished author. Knobby says growing up in Madison and participating in the great programs and schools our city has to offer is a reward in itself. Being named to the city's Hall of Fame is humbling and one of the greatest honors a Madisonian can ever receive. The Madison Sports Hall of Fame and the American Family Insurance Company are proud to welcome Wayne Knobby Keliher to the class of 2008.